Yeah, I've been lucky. I'm a pretty good crasher. I'm pretty elusive, so thankfully I stay on my feet, and I know when my body's about to cut it, so I can kind of lay it back. But there's definitely been some gnarly crashes, especially in Europe. We have some huge courses over there, and they get hold of you, especially.
Our sports director, Eric Granstrom, had a chance to visit with Jack between runs at Mission Ridge last week. Jack says he's been skiing since he's just a little kid, but he didn't get really serious about skiing until he was introduced to ski cross.
My dad put me in an intros program when I was little, so I started skiing from a young age of 7, I believe, and then just kind of kept skiing. I skied semi-seriously here at Mission. Then I found ski cross, and I think that just kind of caught the twitch of my competitiveness. So since then, I started really paying attention to what I'm doing.
So ski cross you've done very well in it. Talk about that progression here over the last few years.
Yeah, it's been a great progression, really. I mean, it started off, I really enjoyed the start of it, and since then I just thought I could take it up a notch. And every year, I think I was just getting quicker and quicker and quicker to realize, like, okay, I might actually, like, if I put my all into this, I could take it pretty far.
Mitchell made the U.S. ski team in ski cross 4 years ago, and he did pretty good up in Alberta, as a matter of fact. He got a first and a second in Alberta earlier in the month. He says he tries to keep himself grounded, even though he's got some pretty lofty goals.
I realistically take it one step at a time. I try not to focus too much on the big goals. I have dreams. I would like to be competitive in the World Cup, obviously. I would like to have top 10, some podiums. But short term, I just kind of think about working as hard as I can, focusing on the small stuff, and the results come after, putting the work in, and try not to focus on it too much, because if you have too much tunnel vision, then you can't really focus on the journey there.
And while most people will start the new year trying to lose weight, Mitchell says he's trying to bulk up.
Right now, it's more of like a refinement stage, but the main thing for me is putting on mass, because I'm pretty light. I'm only like 180 pounds. A lot of the kids I'm racing against are like 200, 215. We got some 245ers in this circuit, and it's hard to keep up with those guys if it's a straight or like a flat course. But yeah, I have some good strengths, but need to work on gaining some weight, more strength. But that comes with age and time, kind of with everybody on the circuit. So
that's a little bit different with ski cross as opposed to giant slalom, things like that, because I see that as being kind of, you want to be sleek, you want to be thin, you want to not have the air drag, but it doesn't matter so much for ski cross?
No, not at all. Yeah, you'll see like, David Moberg on the circuit. He's like my size. He's one of the best technical skiers on the circuit, and you have guys like Reese Howden who are just huge. There's so many different advantages and disadvantages. Like somebody with bigger weight might not be as good of a turner, but they carry more through the sections, and it's kind of a twin toss-up.
Eric's complete conversation, by the way, with Jack Mitchell will air on the back half of this morning's award-winning program, and the entire interview will be on our website as well. Wenatchee Wild, after a 10-day holiday break, back in action tonight. They're in the Lilac City, taking on the Spokane Chiefs at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum, or Arena, I should say. I was able to catch up with Wild broadcaster Austin Drade, gave us a little preview of tonight's game. Wenatchee Wild returned from their Christmas break tonight. They are in Spokane, the Lilac City, to take on a team that's in our division. A division, by the way, Austin Drade, that we are leading. Tell us a little bit about Spokane.
It's been a competitive division here this year. Spokane, they're battling to climb the ladder a little bit, but Spokane is a team that they can score. They've got good goaltending, despite what the record might tell you. And this Wild team is a group that's had to come back a couple of times to pick up wins against the Chiefs, but they've won both games against Spokane so far, and going to look to keep that going here with the game against the Chiefs tonight.
Yeah, Chiefs tonight, and then they're right back here with Victoria in town on Thursday, and then they wrap up the new year with the Seattle Thunderbirds on a 4 o'clock game on New Year's Eve here, followed by the balloon drop and the party. Again, Wenatchee and Spokane tonight, and you can listen to all the action on the radio network on 560 KPQ. And for a small fee, you can actually watch the broadcast
on WHL Live and CHL TV.
The Wild, by the way, lead the U.S. division of the Western Conference. In fact, I believe we have the standings. I'm not sure. They are 25, 11, 3, and 0 on the year. That's 45 points. Everett is a point back of the Wild. They're 21, 13, 1, and 1. And we'll hear more from Austin tomorrow for a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The Wild and the Chiefs tonight at 7 o'clock in Spokane. And the Seattle Kraken back at an NHL action tonight. They're on the road in Calgary taking on the Flames. They'll drop the puck at 6:30 and watch it on Root Sports Northwest. After tonight, they return home for the Winter Classic on New Year's Day against Vegas outdoors at T-Mobile Park, which is the home of the Mariners on New Year's Day. That'll be cool. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday, the 27th day of December. Happy Constitution Day in North Korea. Yes, North Korea has a constitution. I'm not going to read it, but it is Constitution Day in North Korea. But they're also now watching the show because most North Koreans don't have electricity. It is Visit the Zoo Day today. We don't have one. But today we celebrate the holiday food staple that is the fruitcake. Fruitcake goes back to ancient Rome. It goes back like 2,000 years. They've been making fruitcake for that long. There's probably fruitcakes made 2,000 years ago that are still edible. They have this incredible shelf life. Fruitcake made with alcohol can last like 25 years. Of course, it's very popularly regifted. I got a family friend of ours who they just regift the same fruitcake, and they've been doing it for 25 years. Nobody eats it. Nobody even unwraps it. They just hide it somewhere, and they get it out each holiday and give it to somebody else. A fruitcake was sent to space. Apollo 11. Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins and Neil Armstrong, they sent a fruitcake up with them in case they wanted to eat on their way up to the moon. They never touched it. They just left it there. And then so they brought it back with them, and it's that fruitcake that they brought up to space is now on display at the Smithsonian. Probably still edible. I can't stand fruitcake, and I have no idea why people like it. More power to you. It's like a party in your colon. Let's move on to today in history, the show palace of the nation. Radio City Music Hall in the heart of Rockefeller Center in Midtown Manhattan opened its doors December 27, 1932 with a big, huge opening celebration on a ginormous stage. It was at the time the largest auditorium in the world. It's big. It seats 6,000 people on 4 levels, but the show itself was a disaster because they had everybody up on this ginormous stage. The stage is like 170 feet long, and when you put a bunch of people up on the stage, nobody can really see what the hell's going on. And it started at 8 o'clock in the evening. The big opening extravaganza lasted till 2 in the morning, at which point most people had simply left. They just took off. So the opening didn't do very good, but Radio City Music Hall did just fine. Almost closed in the 1970s, almost declared bankruptcy and shut it down, but it's still there. Radio City Music Hall opened its doors on this date 91 years ago today. The war that would become known as the Soviet Union's Vietnam began when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, December 27, 1979. It was the Soviet-Afghan War. They disposed the Afghan president, the duly elected president, toppled in a coup run by the Soviets, and of course it went on for 10 years, from December of 1979 to February of 1989, because of its length and the fact that the Soviet Union lost the Afghan war. It became known as the Soviet Union's Vietnam. I remember that very well on this date, 1979. Would you forgive the person who shot and almost killed you? I think if you are the Bishop of Rome and the leader of the Roman Catholic Church, it comes with a job, and besides, that's just the kind of guy that Pope John Paul II was on this date. In 1983, 40 years ago today, he personally visited Mehmet Ali Agha while he was serving out his prison term in Italy for shooting him and almost killing him in the summer of 1981 in St. Peter's Square in Rome. The Pope forgives the guy who killed him, or tried to anyway. He did that 40 years ago today. And finally, this tells you how much the NFL has changed. 36 years ago today, at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Seahawks lost. They lost to the Chiefs, lost pretty bad as a matter of fact. But in the second quarter, Steve Largent catches a pass from Dave Craig and becomes the NFL's all-time receptions leader. On this date in 1987, he would play until 1989. So he caught pass number 751 on this date. He would eventually retire with 819 career receptions. When he retired in 1989, 819 career receptions, number 1 all time. Now he is 35th all time. I think the NFL has become a passing league, and there's proof of that. And birthdays. Louis Pasteur did pretty good for himself. He was born 201 years ago today. Let's see. Diseases can be caused by germs. There was the theory out there that disease can be caused by germs. He proved it. Let's see, he came up with the rabies vaccine, the anthrax vaccine, the chloria vaccine, pasteurization. If you name a discovery or invention for somebody, you get it named after yourself, and they remember you forever. Louis Pasteur, the French chemist and microbiologist. Keep studying science, kids. It'll pay off in the end. He was born in the state in 1822. Another heavenly birthday, Scotty Moore, part of Elvis Presley's great band in the mid and late 50s, and a very underrated guitarist. He was born in the state in 1931, so he was considerably older than Elvis. He died in 2016 at the age of 84. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. As Keith Richards said, when I first heard an Elvis Presley record, everybody wanted to be Elvis. I wanted to be Scotty Moore. I wanted to play guitar like that guy, the great Scotty Moore, born in the state in 1931. Rock and roller Mick Jones, great voice. Foreigner, before that, Spooky Tooth. Is he still with Foreigner? I don't know. He's 79. He probably doesn't need to work anymore. Happy 79th birthday to Mick Jones, and happy 61st birthday to Mark Few. Every year, he's been the head coach of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. He's taken the Bulldogs to the NCAA tournament. He's won like 19 conference championships, been to the Final Four a few times, went to the national championship game twice. And his winning percentage of .837 is the highest all time. Mark Few is 61. Don't stop coaching. He gets a lot of job offers from a lot of schools, and he stays in Spokane. Our platinum sponsor is Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks for being platinum sponsors of the NCAA Life Channel. Still to come, Eric Granstrom in his conversation with Jack Mitchell. You just saw a couple of snippets of it. Now you'll get to see the whole thing right around the corner. And, of course, it's Winning Wednesday, a $50 gift card from our friends at South at the Pybus Public Market. It is good. Personal testimonial. It's really good. South has two locations at the Pybus Public Market and at their flagship location in Leavenworth. Send me an email, winner@ncwlife.com. I'll do the drawing a little bit later on today. Some lucky winner, some lucky viewer, provided that you enter the contest, is going to win a $50 gift card from South. Winner@ncwlife.com. And here's me and Price. We're back here at the Pybus Public Market where communities meet, continuing our series of interviews with the merchants that have called Pybus Public Market home, including South, which has been here since day one. Price is with me. This is his baby, and boy,
it's my wife's baby.
It's your wife's baby.
I work for her.
Kudos to her, my friend.
Yes.
Backstory: I found out about this restaurant 15, 16 years ago when the original location in Leavenworth opened. Right. The buzz was immediate. I had a couple of friends get a hold of me and said, "There's this new restaurant in Leavenworth. It's called South. Fresh, 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 and the real deal." And I said, "Why not?" And I fell in love with your food and your menu and your people.
Yes.
Who's kidding who? This place, this valley has 100 Mexican restaurants to choose from.
It does.
What puts you guys apart from the rest of the pack?
Oh, man.
Besides the food is fantastic. We'll start with that. And that's a personal testimonial.
Well, to start off with, everything we make from scratch. We don't open up a bag of chips and just serve you chips. I mean, we're making even the chips. Our recipes are from our staff, some of their grandmother's recipes. Some of the recipes, some of the menu items are things that we have experienced over the years traveling around. In fact, some of our best things we got from Chicago and New York. But we've always been sort of interested in Mexican food. I grew up in Southern California, born and raised in Southern California, and spent my 20s in the Mission District of San Francisco.
So, the home to,
right.
Yeah,
of the Mission Burrito.
Quality food.
Right,
Sure.
And so then we moved up here, and it was a little bit lacking with what we wanted, and we had an opportunity to open up a restaurant in Leavenworth, and we jumped on it.
And it took off immediately. I mean, that must have been a surprise to you because you're taking a big chance. Anybody who's launching a restaurant from scratch is really rolling the dice, buddy, and you rolled nothing but good stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, it might have looked that way, but it was pretty tough. The first 3 years were really, really rough. I think I was working maybe 80 hours a week when we first opened up, and after that first summer, which was sort of an eye-opener for us, we decided to take a day off after Labor Day to close. And on that day, Harriet Bullitt came to the door and started knocking on the door.
And her checks clear the bank.
Right. And so we opened up the door and she goes, I'm sorry, Harriet, we're closed today. And she goes, oh, I have 9 friends coming for my birthday. I guess we'll have to go somewhere else. And that was the last day we were closed midweek. We've always been open except for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. But since that day, we've always stayed open, and we've been here ever since.
Do you feel like sometimes this was like a dream thing going on? I mean, you left your teaching job and said, come on, honey, let's go ahead and do a restaurant and see if the spaghetti sticks to the wall. Well 16 years later in Leavenworth, and what, 12 years here?
10 years here,
as one of the cornerstone clients.
Right. It's been way more successful than we ever imagined. I mean, we're just so thankful for how the community has supported us, how they keep coming back. It's just been fabulous. I never even thought it would happen.
And your staff is good. They're good.
Well, thank you. I think, we've kissed a lot of frogs. We've kissed a lot of frogs to find the princes and princesses out there.
And his name is Price, not Prince. We'll make that.
Right. So, I mean, since both my wife and I are former teachers, we run our restaurants sort of the same idea. This is the rubric. This is how you get graded. How you get to this point, we don't really care. So what we've done is we've made our expectations clear, and a lot of people want to know what the expectations are. And what we've done is allowed them to make mistakes. It's okay. And that's how we all learn. And so anyway, we've taken a lot of what we've learned from that classroom and instilled it with our employees.
When the Pybus Public Market became the Pybus Public Market, and this was basically a blank slate, they put in one balcony and one balcony only on the north side of this fine facility, and you guys landed the plum physical position here. Talk about that.
Yeah, it was, when we first walked in the door, we thought, boy, this is such a fabulous space, and we just thought, if we can do a restaurant here, if we're going to do a second restaurant, this is where we want to go. And when we first started, there was no concrete here. It was just the frame and a dirt floor. And that was in February 10th or 11th. By May, we opened. And it was just like a crazy, just sort of chaotic whirlwind to open up the restaurant. And we just never looked back. It's been such a thrill to be here.
When I come into a restaurant, any restaurant for the first time, I always ask the maitre d' or somebody, make me your specialty. Make me something that sets you guys apart from anybody else. And I've never been disappointed here, but what's some of the more popular items on your menu that you can't sell enough of?
Well, our crispy fish tacos are really very good.
Yeah.
Our carnitas plate is a recipe from our cook Martine's grandmother from Michoacan.
So that's the real deal.
It's the real deal. And I think I'd have to throw in the basil margarita. We have to throw that in because that's one of the most popular drinks here in Wenatchee.
No regrets?
No regrets.
Yeah.
No, I kind of have to pinch myself to see if I'm really awake. It's been great.
A couple of things I want to throw in again. Personal testimonial. The menus, if you've been to the Leavenworth one but haven't been here, pretty much identical. Just a couple of minor tweaks here and there, and that's understandable. The fresh green beans that you guys do are just to die for. If you can't get your kids to eat your green beans, send them here. They'll eat them. Right. Trust me on that. What do you have heading down the road? What can we?
One thing that's different between Leavenworth and Wenatchee is we have a brunch. We have a brunch on Saturday and Sunday, and if you've ever had a Latin, Mexican-inspired breakfast, savory. I mean, for me, that's the best breakfast out there, and we've been pushed. We thought it would be a good idea. Other restaurants are open for breakfast, so we've tried to make Pybus a destination for everyone in the community to come for a Sunday morning.
If you want a gastrointestinal party, and you want the real deal. And I'm going to finish where we started. Fresh, fresh, fresh. Everything here is fresh, and you can taste it. You know nothing came out of a can, nothing came out of a bag, and the person who is down in the kitchen doing the voodoo that he does so well knows what he's doing.
That's right.
This is not only a great success story for the Pybus Public Market, because you've been here from day one, you've been an anchor client. This is just a success story, period.
Thank you.
For the Wenatchee Valley, because it's good
Appreciate
food.
that.
People will find good food, won't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And South is a perfect example of that. Price, my friend, keep up the good work.
I will.
All right.
Thank you.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Localtel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Embrace the season of giving at Boswell's. Donate $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless home office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat, or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, you ever think about this? You have a girlfriend or a wife that sometimes you don't treat them very nice. You figure, hey, this is my private life. It's nobody's business if I'm a jerk now and then. Besides, you think the wife, the girlfriend, she's sometimes less than pleasant herself. So it's her fault if I get mad at her and call her names or something like that. Well, let me tell you, there's a good chance that someone's therapist knows all about you. I mean, you never know. If you ask any mental health professional, they'll be able to tell you that they have a client or two whose significant other has no idea they've sought therapy. I tell you, that's something that maybe you should think about. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Happy fall, Wenatchee Valley. Collins Fashions has your fall fashion necessities. Cozy sweaters, jackets, vests, and coats. Jeans and skinny, slim, regular, and boot cut from Jag, cut, French dressing, and Liverpool. Sparkly blazers and tops for holiday special occasions. Comfy PJ salvage and tribal. Sleepwear and robes make great gifts. Brighton has designed gorgeous olive and chili pepper handbags. New Apple Watch bands are in and will not last long. Come see us at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Wenatchee, get ready for an electric night of action. See the feud between Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre continue as they collide for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then, the The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes takes on Shinsuke Nakamura in an epic match. Plus, don't miss Bianca Belair and Io Sky in action.
This, my friends, is must-see.
It's WWE Super Show, live in Wenatchee, January 7th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota compact and utility tractors. Rated #1 in durability and owner experience, they're built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota tractors for 0 down, 2.99% APR for up to 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying snow attachments. See your local Kubota dealer today.
Thanks for watching the NCW Life Channel. We're up here at Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort and talking about skiing, but skiing fast. We've got Jack Mitchell, who is a member of the U.S. ski team for Ski Cross. Okay, first of all, Jack, tell us, what is Ski Cross?
Ski Cross is basically BMX, but on skis. There's big features, big jumps. It's kind of just head-to-head racing. Packs of 4, start at a start gate, first one down wins, basically.
So yeah, that's a little different than your giant slalom or slalom where you're going against a clock. You're actually racing against guys side by side, right?
Yep, makes it very adrenaline filling, that's for sure.
So we got to back up the truck a little bit and talk about you and Mission Ridge. And how old were you when you first started skiing?
I was 2.5 when my dad put me on skis. Been skiing at Mission for around 7 years now. Since then, I was at White Pass beforehand, and now I'm based up in Calgary, Alberta, skiing out of Nikiska, representing up there a little bit, but here's my hometown.
Okay, so how do you go from learning to ski to getting involved in racing and things like that?
Thankfully, my dad put me in an intros program when I was little, so I started skiing from a young age of 7, I believe, and then just kind of kept skiing. I skied semi-seriously here at Mission. Then I found ski cross, and I think that just kind of caught the twitch of my competitiveness. So since then, I started really paying attention to what I'm doing. So
Ski Cross you've done very well in it. Talk about that progression here over the last few years.
Yeah, it's been a great progression, really. I mean, it started off, I really enjoyed the start of it, and since then I just thought I could take it up a notch. And every year, I think I was just getting quicker and quicker and quicker to realize, like, okay, I might actually, like, if I put my all into this, I could take it pretty far.
So the Ski Cross itself, it's been around for a number of years now, but it's on the national and worldwide scale too, right?
Yeah, it is. It's mainly in Europe. I think Europe is where they get the most, most viewers.
What does that mean for you and competition? I know earlier this month you were competing and you did real well. Congratulations. And what, a first and a second?
Yeah, first and a second, which is great. Yeah, we race here in the NORAM Cup, which is, it's a good field, but at a certain point you kind of lose the, there's a little bit of a trek from NORAM level to World Cup, and I think Europe has that bridge between the two. So they have Europa Cups, and those are where all the best skiers are. So for most of the year, I'm going to be traveling out there and racing full time out there, just because it's better competition.
Sure.
Push you more. You know, the faster people around you makes you faster. So.
Sure. Yeah. But kind of like golf. You play golf with guys that are better than you. Usually tend to either you up your game or they come back to you a little
bit.
Exactly. So what's the goal for you? I mean, is it Olympics? Is it just the World Cup? What is the goal?
I mean, I realistically take it one step at a time. I try not to focus too much on the big goals. I have dreams. I would like to be competitive in the World Cup, obviously. I would like to have top 10s, some podiums. But short term, I just kind of think about working as hard as I can, focusing on the small stuff, and the results come after, putting the work in, and try not to focus on it too much, because if you have too much tunnel vision, then you can't really focus on the journey there.
So who's your idol in this sport or in skiing in general?
My idol, I love Tyler Walsh, got to represent USA, but there's some gnarly skiers out there, and the Canadians as well. I'm a big fan of the Swedes.
Okay.
Swedes are awesome. Eric and David Moberg are probably my favorite skiers.
Okay. All right.
Style and
gotcha. Yeah. So when you talk about that, I mean, these guys you watch, first of all on film and watch them on TV and things like that, and kind of go, okay, this is what I want to be.
Yeah. I've seen their progression videos. I've kind of been through all their social media and watched their progression, and I've seen videos of them, and I used to watch them, some years back and see how they progress. So you can kind of pick up on some things, relate to yourself. But it's definitely helped seeing those guys in person. Obviously, it's a whole different animal than, say, watching on TV. But at Nikisk, we had a big World Cup, and I was there to watch and see all the guys and meet some of them. So it was really, really good. And even racing with a lot of the guys racing the World Cup circuit full time when I'm in Europe. So that helps a lot.
Now, in the world sense, and just for your U.S. ski team, you're young, right?
Yeah.
Comparatively speaking?
Yeah.
How old are the guys that you're around and the people you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of these guys, it's their full-time careers. So I'm racing against anybody from my age to say like 35. We have some even like near 40-year-olds. We have an older guy on the U.S. team, but yeah, people are. It's it's any age. So the best guys are going to be in their 30s or end of the 20s in their prime.
So with that, how's the level of acceptance for you being the kid on the block, so to speak?
It's hard, but everybody kind of doesn't like to accept it until you start popping out. So I think this year has been a really good year in terms of development, and I want to carry it farther because now I'm getting noticed, by the people I've been trying to get noticed by.
Sure.
So I think it's a good progression curve, and I hope to carry it.
So I was reading about, I think your dad told us about the fact that you had an aggressive off-season workout regimen and things like that. Where is that, and what does that look like? Because you don't have snow, 365 days a year.
Yeah, thankfully this summer I was lucky enough to train with Mike at CrossSport. Shout out to him. But in terms of training on snow, I didn't go to a glacier this year. Usually we go to Saas-Fee in Switzerland. That's kind of the main training block for ski cross. My team went out there this year, but I just didn't make it out because I wanted to, work a little more and spend some more time in the gym because I thought that was just more beneficial for my situation.
So as you look at your progression and where you are and to try to be the best of the best, so what does that mean for you and what are the things that you're working on?
Right now it's more of like a refinement stage, but the main thing for me is putting on mass because I'm pretty light. I'm only like 180 pounds. A lot of the kids I'm racing against are like 200, 215. We got some 245ers in this circuit, and it's hard to keep up with those guys if it's a straight or like a flat course. But yeah, I have some good strengths, but need to work on gaining some weight, more strength. But that comes with age and time, kind of with everybody on the circuit. So
that's a little bit different with ski cross as opposed to giant slalom, things like that, because I see that as being kind of, you want to be sleek, you want to be thin, you want to not have the air drag, but it doesn't matter so much for ski cross?
No, not at all. Yeah, you'll see like, David Moberg on the circuit. He's like my size. He's one of the best technical skiers on the circuit, and you have guys like Reese Howden who are just huge. There's so many different advantages and disadvantages. Like somebody with bigger weight might not be as good of a turner, but they carry more through the sections, and it's kind of a twin toss-up.
Now, for guys like me, it's not hard to put on weight, but my stepson is also trying to bulk up, and he just has that, his body doesn't do it well. So how hard is that?
It's hard for me.
Trying to get more mass.
It's really hard. I have a fast metabolism, so it's really hard for me to put on weight. But I mean, all the weight I put on is just muscle, so it's good. But I think over the summer, definitely, even gaining, just not gaining so much the weight, but more gaining the strength, the power to weight ratio definitely makes a big difference. For sure in the skiing, just everything's more.
So these guys in the World Cup trying to get you to drink more beer, that type of thing?
Yeah, some of them do, but the beer doesn't really turn out for some of those guys. I have some teammates who are on the beer, but it just, it's not what you necessarily want.
Sure. Let's talk about Mission Ridge Ski Team real quick. And I mean, we got to represent there, right? Talk about that when you got involved with Mission Ridge Ski Team. How old were you and how did that progress? Because, ski cross is probably not in their lexicon, right?
Yeah, I started the transfer when I was 13, but I raced from 13 to around 17 is when I was here mainly, and love Van and Roger, the best coaches on the planet, and had a great time. I just don't think I was in a headspace to really take it super seriously. I kind of always viewed it as, I didn't realize all the opportunities I had here. Kind of wish I would have popped on those more. We had great training, great teammates, great team. Just, it wasn't really clicking with me, I guess. Sort of took ski cross to get me out of that headspace, take it really seriously and give it my all.
So why not the traditional, downhill sports that we've heard of, that we know about?
Ski cross is just so much more fun. A lot of people don't like to admit it, but ski cross is just so fun. Like the big jumps, you have so many features. It's just like you can use all of your body. Alpine's very strict movements, and it's the same thing, but ski cross is such a gamble, and it's you can have so many different strengths against other people. It's like, everybody has a different statistics chart of what their strengths and weaknesses are, and personalities come into play and making decisions. And
so we'll show video of this. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's nuts.
It's so fun.
You're bombing and your guys are weaving and diving and stuff. Crashes. I mean,
lots
injuries.
Of crashes.
I mean, what's happened to you? What's the bad crash so far for you?
I've been lucky. I'm a pretty good crasher. I'm pretty elusive, so thankfully I stay on my feet, and I know when my body's about to cut it, so I can kind of lay it back. But there's definitely been some gnarly crashes, especially in Europe. We have some huge courses over there, and they get hold of you, especially.
Well, and that's something that, if you've not skied before and you come up to Mission Ridge, aside from teaching you how to stay on your feet, they also teach you how to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an important part of skiing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest fear for people is
Of
falling.
course, yeah. And that's why people defer from ski cross, because it is the most dangerous on snow sport, I would say.
So what's next for you? I know there's that, you mentioned World Cup, you know, NORAM World Cup.
Yeah.
You going the World Cup way?
Yeah, so I had the first 2 NORAMs of the year with a great start, and I'm running my first World Cup, thankfully, here in January at my home mountain in Nakiska. So I'll be making my first appearance and trying to qualify, and it should be good. I'm excited to get my feet dipped in and get the name out there with all the best people.
So I know when we had the Olympics in Vancouver, there was a lot of people that came here to ski this kind of snow because it's similar to Whistler, I guess.
Yeah.
Talk about that on snow conditions and such. I mean, you're here skiing today.
Yeah.
Why are you here at Mission Ridge?
Yeah, well, Mission Ridge obviously is the hometown, but the snow here is great. Usually for ski cross, we like to train on pretty hard packed snow, kind of similar to Alpine. Softer conditions, you know, if it's wet, it can be kind of a scare. We usually try to defer from situations like that just because that's where you run into more knee injuries and you dig tips in and have more crashes. But usually we don't like ice. Sometimes it's like complete ice pack, and that's where it gets scary as well. But nice, hard, firm snow makes for the best.
So in college sports, we're hearing about the NILs these days. You have sponsorship as well, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay, we got to mention that while we got you here, right?
Yeah, the biggest one is Kyle at KTS Development. Couldn't have done this without him. Huge support, and he's brought in so many people to help out. And our neighbors, Chuck and Nancy Borg, basically my grandparents, as long as Mission Ridge for keeping track of finances, and everybody's just come together to help make this possibility.
Yeah, I mean, because it costs, right? I mean, it's not like somebody's floating a boat for you. You know, the ski team isn't like sending you to Europe and all that.
Exactly, and obviously my dad is keeping track of all of it. I'm so thankful because none of this would be possible without him. But yeah, it's all come together quite nicely. We just got to push forward to make sure for the future, you know, as long as I keep doing this, we got to get the funds and keep track of finances a little bit better, just to keep on track.
Okay, Jack Mitchell, what's an epic day of skiing for you?
Epic day of skiing? Oh, anywhere in Europe, really. Anywhere in Europe, get up to the course. If I have a good race day, it's always best. But usually racing ski cross, I'm so stoked. Just all the movements, all the feelings, the adrenaline is just kind of unbeatable. Even now, like I have a bunch of friends who I love to go free skiing and stuff, but I don't think anybody understands the feeling you get doing ski cross, really. Yeah. It's the best thing on skis, hands down, in my opinion.
Okay, one word to anybody that takes up skiing, or maybe you haven't been up to the ridge in a long time, and it's time to come back. You see what he's got on his head? That's the most important thing, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, helmet's important. You never want to be without it, especially on snow, because something can happen. You're not always in control. You can be in control as much as you want, but there's always somebody else to get in your way. So.
How do we follow you? How do we find out what's happening with Jack Mitchell?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Jackosaurus1 and Jack Mitchell Ski Cross, and I'm sure you'll see some more articles around. And I'm on the FIS app as well if you want to keep track of the races. I'll be at Europa Cups in this upcoming World Cup as well.
Well, best of luck to you, and thanks for representing the Valley so well.
Yeah, of course. Love this Valley to death. Wouldn't want to be from anywhere else. So
there you go. Jack Mitchell joining us here on the NCW Live Channel.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Welcome to the Columbia Basin Dispute Resolution Center. We are a local nonprofit serving Grant and Adams counties, helping businesses and people resolve difficult issues so they can move toward a better future. We offer help with workplace disputes, residential issues, family matters, and can train your staff in conflict prevention and resolution skills. Call us at 509-237-8401 to learn more.
That's a pretty cool shot from our Wenatchee Heights camera here on this cold Wednesday morning. It's a winning Wednesday morning. One last reminder, a $50 gift card. We'll go to one lucky winner, a $50 gift card to South. And I checked my emails. People want this. Send in your email, winner@ncwlife.com. That's how you enter. You have to enter via email, but everybody has an email address. Most people have 2 or 3. In fact, if you have more than one, you can enter more than once. You just can't enter continuously dozens of times on the same email address. We keep track of these things. Employees of local telecommunications solely on broadcasting and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Rachel, you can't win. And if you do not enter the contest, you cannot win the $50 gift card to South. Fresh, modern Latin food and drink at the Pipus Public Market. And thanks to Price for bringing this on board. We'll do the drawing a little bit later on. 34 degrees. Not going to be much warmer than that. But we're in for a warm start for the new year. The long-term outlook was sent out to us yesterday from the Climate Prediction Center. These are the folks at the National Weather Service who handle the long-term forecasts, and they're pretty good at it. They predicted way back in September we would have a strong El Nino year, and that's exactly what's going on. And that means warmer than normal temperatures. Well, here it is. Here's your 8 to 14 day outlook. This takes you from January 3rd to January 9th. And as you can see there, a 30 to 40% chance of above normal temperatures, and about the same thing for above normal precipitation, which means we're going to get some stuff coming out of the sky, but it will almost certainly be in the form of rain. It's just way too warm for snow, at least here on the valley floor. Now, other locations are going to get snow, but not us from the National Weather Service. Rain most of the day today. Snow level will be above the valley floor, but the foothills, the canyons, Leavenworth and Plain, and maybe up in the Meadow and Chelan, you may get a little bit of snow today. Down here in the valley, mostly rain, and a high of 37, 34 for the overnight low tonight. A few sun breaks. Get out and enjoy tomorrow if you like the sun, because that's it. High of about 40 after the fog burns off, and then here comes this pattern. Cloudy and foggy and rainy and 42, and cloudy and foggy and 45, and cloudy and foggy and a little bit of rain and 44, and cloudy and foggy on the new year and 40, and that's what we have for you. Very warm temperatures. That's it for us. Have a good Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.